How to stay confident even if you lack skills. Welcome to my channel Self-Control. Today I want to share with you a story about how even if you lack skills or a healthy body, there is always a chance to achieve what you have dreamed of. Once, in a small town there lived a boy named Marcus who dreamed big. His greatest desire was to become the champion of the world of tennis. Marcus did not just dream of fame and honors, but felt a deep love for tennis. He enjoyed running on the field, holding a racket in his hand and listening to the ball bounce. The only special thing about Mark was that he was born with only one hand. Mark's father, who also loved tennis, spent long hours playing with him. They kicked the ball back and forth, and Marcus learned to play with his one hand in a way that surprised even his father. But when Marcus started training, things got complicated. His workout mates often laughed at him. "How on earth do you want to become a world champion when you only have one hand?" they asked mockingly. Every time someone laughed at him, Mark felt a little hope begin to fade within him. "Dad," he said one evening as they sat at home together after a workout, "I don't think I'll ever become a world champion. Everyone laughs at me and I feel like they might be right." Mark's father put the racket aside and looked at him seriously. "Son, do you know why I started playing tennis with you?" he asked. Marcus shook his head. "I saw passion and perseverance in your eyes. Not only did you dream, but you loved the game. And if you truly love something, then it does not matter what others think. The only thing that matters is how you feel." The next day in training, Mark decided to remember his father's words. But as his training laughed at him again, he felt the old familiar weight sinking into his heart. It was then that his coach, Mr. Thomas, stepped closer. "Mark," he said seriously, "do you know why you're being bullied?" Marcus looked up in bewilderment. "Don't know. Because they don't have what you have," said Mr. Thomas. "You have perseverance. You've survived something they've never had to face. And you know what? It makes you stronger than they think." The coach leaned over to Mark and added, "I'm not going to let you give up. I want you to focus on what you want. Move on, despite everything. One day you will understand why you were bullied. They were afraid of what you could achieve." Mark took these words to heart. He began to work even harder in training, no matter how hard it was. And although his journey was not easy, he began to heal step by step. He found a way to make his one-handed strike stronger, and learned to anticipate opponents and move quickly on the field. Years passed, and Mark's name began to become known in tennis circles. Finally, the day came when Marcus stepped onto the field for the World Cup final. He stood there, racket in hand, and looked up at the crowd that had gathered to look at him. His whole journey, all the ridicule and hardships had brought him to this moment. The game was hard and exhausting, but with each blow, Marcus felt more and more confident. He wasn't just playing for the win, he was playing for his dream. Finally, when the last ball bounced across the net and the opponent could no longer answer it, the crowd stood up to applaud. Marcus had won. After the game, Marcus sat alone on the field and watched his racket. He remembered all those moments when he had doubted himself and been depressed. But now he realized that all these difficulties had made him who he was. "Daddy," he whispered quietly, "you were right. I didn't give up, and now I understand why I had to go through it all. It made me strong." Mark's story became the inspiration to many others who faced difficulties. He showed that true masters are not only born in terms of physical abilities, but they are formed through mental strength, perseverance, and love for what they do. If you like this story and are looking for inspiration on how to improve your life and self-confidence, then under the video click on the link to the free book, where you can read about how to get closer to your goal and be proud of yourself. If you like this story, then hit the subscribe button and share this video.